Focus. Haha, success. Hey guys, it is Thursday, January 9th, and it is time for my sketchbook review. A little bit early this week, but I'm actually struggling a lot with some art block, and I figured I'm not going to get too many more sketches in this week to show them, so I may as well just go ahead and do sketchbook review now. Besides, it's quiet, and things like that. I just filmed a vlog clip saying all the same stuff I just said, so it feels really weird to be repeating myself. But for those of you who don't want to follow my vlog or anything like that, which will be going up, I have no idea exactly when. I don't even know if I'm going to be using this week as a good starter week, but we'll see. I'm trying to keep my vlogs art related, and it's kind of difficult because right now I've got so much going in my life that has nothing to do with art, but it's kind of like my sketchbook reviews. But in my sketchbook reviews, I can ramble about whatever I want. So, I'm trying to think. I did get a call back from my job. They have accepted me. So I started the process of getting my information to them. They needed to do a digital background check, which I basically just filled out a little email that said, oh yeah, you guys can look into my past. And then they needed my references, and they sent me another email, and I just filled in like the names of the references that I would like them to contact, and they sent an email to them with like a little survey about what kind of person I am. And my awesome references, like within less than 24 hours, had everything turned around and turned back in. So they've got everything that they need. My admission has been closed, which means that they're just waiting on the background check now. And I don't know when that's going to be, but they said that once they've got that in, then they'll call me up to set up my training date, and we'll start training. So I'm super excited. I got another job. It's just going to be a little while, because I get paid every 2 weeks. It's pretty consistent within the healthcare community that you get paid every 2 weeks. And I'm not going to be getting paid for a little while, but I have enough to cover my bills for one more month again. So hopefully we get that sorted out. And I've already bought some scrubs. I got a couple sets because they're color coded at this place, so I have to have navy blue. Navy blue is not my color, but it is what it is. Anyway, so I'm really excited about that. I know I don't sound it. I'm just very tired right now. I was up late talking with a co-worker about my last job because he's talking about leaving. So I was talking to him about other places he could apply and things like that, and where I was going, and I was like, dude, come work with me. And he's actually worked there before, so I'm like, come work with me. But yeah, so anyway, let's talk about the sketchbook review today. A lot of sort of, well, you guys will see fan art, but yeah, so let's just pop into this. This right here is a mouse version of Joy-san over there. She's the other YouTuber. Most of my followers follow her too, so I really don't feel like I have to explain who she is, but there's a link to her channel in my description below. And I was in her live stream like a month and a half ago or something like that, and I mentioned that I was going to draw her as a mouse. And I kind of kicked around an idea. I was like, do I want to draw her as like an art mouse? Do I want to draw her as like a steampunk sort of mouse or whatever? And her recent vlog, she's been doing some boxing training, and I used to actually, and funny story, I used to be in martial arts, and I used to do the exact same training. So when the guy's like, no chicken wings, I was like, I always had chicken wings. I always used to get in trouble for that. But anyway, so I thought it was really cute. So I decided to go ahead and draw her as a mousy boxer. And then I finished it up this week, and I used my glitter paint ink, which was actually a really bad mistake. I shouldn't have done it. I think it pulls away from the piece. It doesn't contribute to it. But overall, the actual coloring on this, I'm very proud of it. I used Prismacolor, I used my Copics. Of course, for the base, I'm going to zoom in here on your face, Miss Joy Mouse. I used the Copics for the base, and then I used col-erase color pencils over top of it, but col-erase color pencils are actually highly blendable for some reason on top of Copic. They do really well, and they kind of give it this really soft shading feel to it. And I was just super happy with how this came out. I like it very much. It just turned out really nice. the facial structure and everything. I did a little bit of adjustment on this versus this, but I think it turned out really nice anyway, and I'm just really happy with how this turned out. It like turned out way better than I thought it was going to be. I kind of went into it, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I like it when things work out. Then I have a doodle of Clementine over here. She's just kind of stretching and yawning. I just didn't really finish it. I need to work more with Clementine though. And I got some fabulous art from Gray of PTA this week as a thank you gift, and it's of Clementine, and it's just fantastic. Clementine and the Fanboys. This is from last week. I don't know why it's in here. It's because this was from last week. It's because I pulled the loose leaves out to set aside, and then I put them all back in together again, even though that's not in order. So here we've got, I think it was 1600s Piper. I was kind of going off of the era of Cinderella, and I looked up a dress and everything, and I put Piper in it. And then I have Piper taking care of one of the servants' children. And then I got permission from Al over at Harp and Stars, or ex Harp and Stars, whatever, if I could start drawing Liz Rain again. And she said it was fine. So I did, because I miss drawing them together, and it's like, they're dynamic. I love it so much. Look at them. And I had him set up as like the prince that all the girls in waiting are coming to meet. And the way I had it set up is like, I had this idea of she's in the procession line, and well, we'll turn the page because it kind of explains it a little bit more. She's in the procession line, and one of her servants has a child, and it's going to be Thomas, because, you know, whatever, Thomas is a cutie and I own him. And he finds out that Piper's going to meet the prince to get married and live in the castle and things like that. That's kind of just the gist of what he's told by the other servants. And he gets really, really upset because he likes Piper and he doesn't want her to go away. So he runs all the way to the palace and sneaks in past the guards and gets into the area where they're doing the long procession, and she's almost like next in line to go. And he starts screaming and hollering and pushing through people to try to get to her, and he's crying and carrying on. So she leaves the procession line, obviously, to go see what's wrong with him and to kind of comfort him. And it kind of draws the attention of Liz Rain, and he walks over and like is like, you know, well, first the guards are running over because, you know, get that kid out of here. And Piper's like, you ain't touching my little one. And she's like, I had it to where she was going to be smacking the guard's hand in here. So there's this one, and she's, don't you dare touch this child, you brute. And the poor guy, he's just trying to do his job. But because she's a lady, men aren't supposed to raise their hands to them or their voices to them. And of course the guy's going to raise his voice to him, and Liz Rain's going to be like, yo, dude, chill. What's going on? At least that's the gist of how I had it figured out. And then I had it to where like Piper like does her little curtsy bow thingy-mabobber, and Thomas, being a kid and not knowing anybody, and being, why are you bowing to him? He's not that tall. You know, your highness, get it, highness. Anyway, the whole thing is very endearing to Liz Rain, so he invites her to go dance because he doesn't even want to be doing this. He's like the prince in Cinderella, Disney Cinderella, where he doesn't want to do this procession, but his parents are making him because he's like 18, 19. He needs to settle down and find a wife, blah, blah, blah. So that was the whole thing behind it. It's like it had very Cinderella undertones to it. And just because Piper caused a commotion and caused a fuss, he chose her to... And she was just doing it to be nice. Like, he liked that she was taking care of her servant's child, as opposed to just letting the guards drag him off and stuff like that. It was really cute. Really, really cute idea. And then I live streamed. I was live streaming coloring this, and then I took a few requests afterwards, and everybody was asking for Tyrion Piper. So I drew Tyrion Piper as bunnies in the bathing area. Cherry, absolutely no sense of personal space. She's just teasing Piper, really. She's not interested or anything like that, but of course I'm going to draw it like she is. And then poor Piper is like freaking out. And Jean's nearby doing like patrol or something, and Kay was actually in the room when I was drawing this, and she said something to the degree of, yeah, Jean would come in, but he'd be totally distracted by Cherry. He wouldn't even be there to do his job. Oh, Jean. And I was drawing a picture of Jean braiding Piper's hair because that's happening in a role play, and it didn't turn out quite nice. And then I drew this because this gave me such a hard time. I was like, I blame Jean for it, so I drew a little Jean big mean poopy head. And then I have a little Adam over here saying, little ladies. This turned out really good, actually. I was thinking about finishing it. I'm against doing suggestive art. I never have been. I do adult stuff all the time. But it's weird because it's Piper. Huh. Well, she's covered up, so I guess she's okay, but yeah, I might finish that actually. That would transfer over really good. We'll see. And this is where the art block started to really hit me. I started to struggle. I got Jean, in roleplay right now, Jean's going to help Piper watch the little babies. And Piper, I imagine she reads them stories and stuff like that, so I've got her cuddling with one of the babies. And it's a nice baby who wants to sleep, and then Jean gets the one that bites ears and things like that. Obviously that didn't actually happen, but yeah. And then I did this. There's just Piper, she's mixing a salve for Jean because he helped her go pick some wild strawberries. And strawberry plants, the leaves can actually be turned into an antiseptic. The more you know. Wild strawberry plants have that property in their leaves. So she would have ground it up, mixed it with water, done something to make it into like a salve, and then she took some over to him, and this is her working on it, and she's just kind of doing it to be extra nice, but he ruined it. And then here's Piper with a strawberry. Mouse Piper with a strawberry, because Mouse Piper does like strawberries. They're one of her favorite foods. And then Kay prompted me with the idea of Jean being a soldier from the Civil War, Northern soldier from the Civil War, and Piper being a Southern belle. This is angled, because again, when I live stream, this is my setup. I've got my camera like right here, but in order to get underneath of it, I have to be over here. And my artwork tends to be, because I have like room all the way over here. So my artwork tends to be tilted because when I draw, I usually am above my paper like this. So unfortunately, a lot of these sketches when I live stream end up slanted, and I feel really bad afterwards about it, but there's not a whole lot I can do. But I got Jean over here in a Northern soldier's uniform. I don't know anything about uniforms or anything like that, so don't y'all be jumping on me about, oh, that's not historically accurate. They're mice. Get over it. And then I was drawing Piper in a little Southern belle dress and that little umbrella. Woohoo! Her hair, we were making fun of her hair, how poofy it is, because it's curly. But I was like, well, they're from the South, okay? So it's humid down there, it poofs. And then I did a little picture of her underneath a flower. Yes, yes, yes. And her legs don't make sense, but I was going to make the dress a little bit bigger at the bottom to make more sense. And then this is how Piper ends up finding Jean, is he's wounded, and she finds him, and she's like, oh, you poor thing, I'll take care of you, blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole, you know, Southern Belle finds the injured soldier, and love ensues sort of thing. And then we were talking about how he'd be flirting with her and stuff like that, and she'd be, you know, just cover his mouth like, boom, like, hush your foolishness. But yeah, I thought that was a cute idea too. That was a cute little Piper. Everything she does is in lace. And then this is actually the last page of sketches, I think. No, it's not. I got a couple more. Another Jean in the soldier stuff. I'm trying to get his face shape down. I think this is more the face shape I'm going to go with. To get a face shape down for him, because Jean is, I've only known him as a bunny and a little bit as a human. So yeah. And then Jean as a secret agent. Secret agent mouse. Alright, anyway. Drawing a little bit of cherry, just a head, Piper face, spindle top head, I don't know. And then these were some requests from chat, or from the live stream last night. Someone requested Duck Piper. I don't know why. People like Duck Piper for some reason too, but I drew her. This one turned out really good. I like it. And I was drawing a sleeping Piper, but it was angled so badly that I got frustrated with it, so I kind of gave up. And then I was drawing Nega Piper because she's got like this really crazy wild hair that I like, and then I drew a quick scarlet feather fan. And that's it in the sketchbook. And I worked in my mixed media sketchbook as well this week. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Let's see, what was the page? Oh yeah, that was that sketch from last week that I didn't like. So I did a quick Jessica Rabbit, because we were talking about Disney characters and ones that had positive influences on me. or us, whatever. But Jessica Rabbit actually is one of my favorites because I always thought it was cool that she had such an active role in saving her own husband, whereas most of the Disney princesses just sit back and let other people do all the rescuing. No, Jessica Rabbit, I mean, she was hitting people with frying pans, and she was going after the weasels, and she knew that they were super dangerous and stuff like that. But she did it because she loved her husband. And I was like, oh, well, she cheated on Roger. I was like, she didn't actually cheat on Roger. My God. So, I mean, I guess in cartoon world it was, like, considered cheating. I don't know, but it was what it was. I like Jessica Rabbit, so there. So I just kind of drew her. She's kind of stylized to my style. But yeah, I like how it turned out. It turned out pretty good. I'm not 100% happy with it though. What I'm trying to do is, and I was explaining this in the live stream, is I'm trying to do underlays of block color with like the skin tone, the dress tone, the hair tone, and Copic. And then going over it with my col-erase because you can blend on top of it with the col-erase really nicely. And it works, and it does an amazing job, I think. I just, changing that color technique I feel is throwing me off a little bit with my anatomy and things like that. Like, I guess now looking at her eye could have been up a little bit more, but whatever. And then underlaying the sketches with the color erase has been really nice because it is so erasable. Like, I erased a ton on this, but you can't even see it, and I'm happy about that. Yes. So I guess this didn't turn out too bad, but it didn't turn out the greatest either. I don't know. And then someone told me to draw a Pokemon, so I drew my favorite Pokemon, which is Ducklet, for those of you who don't know. And then I drew a little flower with it. But look at it, it's Ducklet. I love Ducklet. Ducklet's my favorite. Ducklet is my absolute favorite Pokemon. Love Ducklet. And I didn't realize, because I only started playing, I mean, I've been into Pokemon off and on, but I haven't really started playing anything with it. So I was like, oh, Ducklet's one of the old ones. Well, Ducklet's old to me because of when I started playing. But I guess Ducklet's more new generation, but whatever. I don't care because Ducklet is normal and I love him. It. Yes. All the Ducklets. I want a shiny Ducklet so bad. But I can't seem to find anyone to trade with, or, you know, I just need to breed a bunch of Ducklets, I guess. I'm going to have an entire SD card full of Ducklets at this point. But alright, that's it for this sketchbook review. If you guys liked what you saw, feel free to like, subscribe, comment below. Yeah, again, I've been struggling quite a bit with art block this week, so things aren't really coming out the way I want them to, and it's super depressing, but it is what it is. I'll work through it. It'll just take some time. But other than that, that's it for this week. I guess keep an eye out for my vlogs if I actually start doing them. I haven't really 110% committed, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next sketchbook review.